Hi there. Good evening from Glasgow. I thought I would take the time to do this little recording because I think it is easier when you actually see what you read about instead of just reading it into a description. So this is essentially about what we are going to achieve in our little session of next Friday and what you need, the few elements you need, because I've kept it to very, very minimum in order to achieve it. So what we're going to achieve is a lovely piece of hand-printed paper like this. This is one I did earlier. Yeah. You can see it's a lovely kind of drab green, and that is generated by the lovely onion skin dye, red onion skin dye, which I collected from the greengrocer. If you have a piece of fabric you can use as well, you will also achieve a piece of fabric. Essentially, if you look at them side by side, you will notice that they are mirror image. And the reason being is they are rolled together. I will, on the email you are receiving just now, I will also attach a little video which shows you how this is achieved by rolling things together. So the UK participants have received a small bundle of stuff from me, and in the bundle there is a packet of iron sulfate. So this is essentially green powder. It's powdered ferrous sulfate, which you need to mix up with some water. If you are coming from outside the UK, then I'm afraid you are going to have to either get yourself some iron sulfate or make some iron water. This is iron water. You can see it's quite yellow, and essentially what it is rust water. If you have iron sulfate, then it's quite easy. In a container like this, so that's probably a couple of liters, you would add 1 teaspoonful of this iron sulfate. Stir it in until it's completely dissolved. As you can see when I'm lifting it, it is clear, although it is quite yellow. And essentially what this is, it's rust water. And if possible at all, use a container that has a top, a lid that you can seal, because as this is rust, it will stain your clothing if you spray yourself with it. So if you are from outside the UK and you haven't received this iron sulfate, you can make yourself some rust water by, for example, cutting some wire wool. So wire wool is this, yeah. Wire wool, you use that for sanding, or by using little pieces of metal which are rusty, if you have anything around, and if you dip that into vinegar, you will find that will give you some iron water. I will put in the description how to proceed for this. In the little starter pack, you also have a roll. Now, I'm afraid I have recycled the wooden rods which I had in my workshop, simply because, as for wherever you are, we have a situation just now in Glasgow where we can't really access DIY shops. This is just like a broomstick. And what we're doing in this workshop is we're actually trying to work with what we have around the house, which is quite practical. It means you achieve a lot with not very much. And this one is quite small. It's about 15 centimeter. And the reason for this is because it will fit really nicely in my pot. So this is just a soup pot, which I will fill up with some water and some onion skin. So probably that much onion skin for the pot, yeah, a good handle full. If you have any, and that is what will give you the lovely green color. So get yourself a pot, if possible stainless steel, it's quite good. If you have something like this, that will allow you to pick up your very, very hot roll once you've been boiling it. A lid, if possible, so that will keep the steam inside the pot. And then I would need you to get, unless you are in the UK and you receive this in my starter pack, some paper. Now, what I have here is I have a couple of pieces This is lining paper. So, and this is what I've sent to the UK participant. Lining paper essentially is wallpaper that has not been printed. It's very robust. It will boil really happily in a pot for an hour without disintegrating. If you have at home something like watercolor paper, it's also very, very good. Or if you don't have watercolor paper, very, very thick copy paper, but it has to be quite thick, or recycled paper. But lining paper, if you have any, that is actually really good. And I would suggest you have a piece of cotton fabric. Now, what we are aiming at is printing the paper, but the paper teamed with the fabric will actually give you a really nice result together. So I would recommend, if you have some fabric, little bit of cotton to spare, then I would do that. I would use the cotton as well as the paper, and that will give you a couple of pieces. Now, if you have elastic bands, that's great. I didn't have any to send out, so I put a piece of string. And what the elastic band or the string do is, when we roll the little roll together, we tie them with the band or the elastic band. They make some marks. This is lovely, big, thick marks from the elastic band. If you have string, you will get some thinner marks. So get yourself some string as well. And essentially, this is all you need for this workshop. What we are trying to do is achieve quite a nice little bundle by just using a few elements. And during the workshop, I will demonstrate with onion skin, and it would be great if you could do it at home at the same time. I will also demonstrate with another dye called logwood, which is a proper dye. I will also demonstrate with turmeric. So that should give you a few different options. Refer back to my email for the rest of the detail, and if you have any issues, then give me a quick text before Friday. But I look forward to meeting you on Zoom. Bye for now.